Welcome to this lecture. So for now, inside our application, we are able to generate images using the image generation API, and we are able to get the text responses using the chat completion API and ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo. And now inside our application, we are going to add a feature using which we will not only able to see the text responses, but we will be able to hear the response. So as inside our chatbot application, for now, when we are getting the messages which contains the text like this one which we got at the top, so we are able to just read that message. But now after adding this feature, we are also able to hear the response using text to speech feature. So let's start adding this feature inside our application. So in order to perform text to speech inside our React Native application, we are going to use a library, and that library is called Expo Speech. So here open your browser and type Expo Speech and press enter. Now you will see these results, and there you can see this Expo Speech npm. So just click on it and the documentation will be opened. So this is the documentation page for the library that we want to use. And there you can see, firstly we need to install this library inside our application. And to do that, you can simply copy this line, this expo install expo speech. After that, open your terminal or command prompt. And here you need to type npx and then paste the line. Now press enter and this library will be downloaded and added inside our project. And there you can see this message that this package is added. So after adding this library inside our project, the next step is using it for hearing the response that we are getting from ChatGPT. So in order to do that, open our project again, and here we will start the process. And here our first step is adding the import for this library, and we are going to add this import here. So write import star or static as speech, and we are going to import it from this library called expo speech. So from, and here specify your library name, and the library is expo speech, and you can see this option here. So after adding the import for this expo speech, the next step is using it for hearing the response. So where inside our application we want to use it for hearing the result, and the answer is inside our generate text function. After getting the response or the answer from ChatGPT, we should add the code for hearing that response. So here, after creating this message and displaying it inside our application, we should use this library for hearing it. So in order to hear the response, we are going to use this speech, and then we are going to call it speak function. So there you will see this speak function, and inside this function we need to pass two things. Firstly, we need to pass the text that we want to hear, and that text is actually the answer that our ChatGPT model returned, and that answer is this one. So just copy it and paste it inside it. And after that, the second parameter is an option, and using this option object we can choose certain properties for this library, like you can change or choose the language for the voice. Similarly, you can increase or decrease the speed of the voice and other such things. And in order to pass the options, we will create an object of options here. So options, and now after creating it here, we are going to pass it as a second parameter. So pass these options here, and that's it. So now inside our application, when we are going to ask a question here and we will get the response from ChatGPT, you will also be able to hear that response. So now here, before running and testing the application, we can remove this trim function because in some cases it can cause problems for speech recognition. So let's remove it. And now we are going to install this application inside our real device so that we can thoroughly test our application and this text to speech feature. So let's test our application.